This is a lot of work. A lot of work on the garden. After you plant it off, when you started, you try to cultivate it, plow it, then you start planting another work. Then when you plant them, they start growing. Then there's so many weeds. Then you have to clean it up again unless you have the weed protection. You know, those like the tarp kind of plastic. Anyway, right now I'm with my okra plants. I'm cultivating it. And that's it. I'm gonna cultivate and water them, and then I have so much more to plant today. After this one, I have to plant more peppers and tomatoes and squash, which is this one on this side here is my hot peppers. Yes, hot peppers like habanero, jalapeno, cayenne, different things. And this one is from the last year, but I'm fixing to harvest it and cultivate this and plant some beans. So anyway, I'm getting away here. Video ko dong. That's it. That's my, I forgot what was the name of this one. Do you know what kind of vegetable? Kanidong. Oh, chard. Yep, now I remember. That's a chard. That was from last year. It came back this year. So I have some chard that I eat for the early spring. And right now too, still spring. And I have some, this one is a zucchini. I think yes, this is the yellow squash. This side, I don't have very much, but I also have some in my other garden. And this is my zucchini. The zucchini, they're blooming. And same thing as the yellow squash, they're blooming, not very much yet. And the rest of the plant here on this side is my eggplant. I have two different eggplants. It's the Black Beauty eggplant and the Asian eggplants in there. You can tell the difference. The Asian one is the like purple color leaves. It's totally different one than the Black Beauty eggplants. That's the Black Beauty. They're not blooming yet, but the Asian is. Which is I am Asian. I'm from the Philippines originally. And this is my sweet peppers. Some, I think because of the weather changed a lot, we have a lot more cold weather at night. And then on the daytime, it's too hot. So it's just like they have a shock of cold and hot. And this one is not growing very good. But the one that already stable of where they are right now, they're growing pretty good. But actually, they already have fruits. See that one over there? We have fruits already. This one here. So we're fixing to have plenty of peppers, and the one on the end over there has bountiful. And this is I got so many different kinds of varieties of tomatoes. They have it called patio tomatoes, which is, they said it's not gonna grow very big. And this is the one. If you look on it, the leaves is totally different than any regular tomatoes. But all tomatoes has different, really, you know, if they have different varieties, they have different different looks of their leaves as well. The same thing as their blooms or flowers. This one, I thought this is a patio tomatoes, but it's not, because they're growing big and it's totally different looks of the leaves compared to this one. See? And even the blooms is totally different. No, actually almost the same. But anyway, that's it, and they're growing very well, the eggplants. And here's my little greenhouse. I have so many a lot of different things in there as well. A lot of ready to plant beans, bush beans and climbing beans. I have those, they call pink beans, or they have so many names of those pink beans. This is the pink beans. And I also have, they call it rattlesnake beans, which is really good for stir fry. I was surprised. And inside of my greenhouse, more beans. You know, I started a lot more beans, and there is some corn, some few tomatoes, and I have so many also beans that it was not growing. Probably it's an old seeds that I planted. And have some, this one is that they call the spaghetti squash. So I'm gonna put them outside today. And there's more okra. I'm gonna sell those today to the market. And different squash, I don't know what, I forget the name of this, but this is a very, very delicious squash. And more peppers and tomatoes, a lot more to plant, and more corn. Those are, I think those are, they call bantam. The bantam, I never heard it before, but I've seen it, so I bought some. It's a bantam corn. And more of these pink beans, or they call, some call it greasy beans. And more, I just planted what I have, and some flowers in here, the planted from seeds. And more corn this way too. Supposed to be a lot more beans in here, but I don't think they did well on that side. And I have some ampalaya also this way. I'm gonna put those where a lot of sunshine, because that one loves sunshine. Or they call it a bitter melon. Philippines call it ampalaya. That's ampalaya. And like I said, it's more tomatoes and beans here. And I got also more, this one is Asian squash. It's a different squash also that we like it to use for stir fry. Very, very good taste squash. Hopefully I'm gonna have, because I have a new garden right now. I'm gonna plant them in here. This is my new garden that I called it an experimental plant, that I never planted it the traditional way. I planted through the pots, you know, plant it in pots. And so far they're doing good. These are a lot of tomatoes I'm planting. And this one, we built this, they call pig pen or cattle pen or fence. Cattle fence, but we make it like, you know, it's almost like look like a greenhouse. But that's where it's gonna climb all my climbing plants, including tomatoes, because tomatoes get really so big, so you can just have to teach them how to, you know, climb. And that's what they're doing right now. See, they were very little plants when I planted them. Now they're growing very well. And also this is an experimental for my zucchini in a pot. So far it's really doing good, and they already start having fruits. I see one here, a lot of blooms. There's one over there, see? There is a zucchini. So you can really do it. You know, you just have to put good soil. Not just a regular soil. You have to really put it. I put some mix with, you know, those things that it's mixed up. Walmart, you can get those organic stuff. Plus I mix it with humus or hold on, I'm gonna read it. And here's my yellow squash also in a pot. See, they're having fruit. So far I'm very, very happy. They're just not looking very good right now. Some of the leaves are really changing to yellow, but that's okay because it's growing new leaves right now because I think of the weather, like I said a while ago, that it's changing. And here's some new my tomatoes that I planted here. I get some late ones, or you call that. So this is some of the mix that I use for my soil. Is it compost and manure? Plus I also put some peat moss. I don't know if I say it right, but that's the way I said it or read. And more tomatoes and more place here to plant. There's nothing yet, but I have some cucumber or pepino, what we call in the Philippines. I got two different ones. This is the one that you usually use it for sushi, and this one are just the one pickling cucumber. They're really growing good. They look good in this place on, you know, where they are right now. And I have one new ones. I forgot what was this thing name, but it's a very, very little cucumber. They look like a ball, but it tastes like a pepino or cucumber. But anyway, sa ako ato dong. Anyway, I'm talking some of my dialects that I speak. I was talking at the same time with my brother on the phone. But here they are. See? I'm gonna plant more beans this way. So it's not as big as anybody's garden, but big for us. So whatever I can, I'm gonna sell it. So here's my building for my tools for gardening. And there's my garden, part of it. And I'm gonna plant some in there too. Because wherever there's a good sunshine that I know, I usually put something on it. Like that one there, probably I'm gonna plant some of my climbing squash. And I got some here. I'm not very good on these onions, but I planted it from those the old tubs. And that's about it for now. Next time you see, it's really growing and harvesting time probably. So the side here where the peppers, and there's few tomatoes that I planted here. On the end over there, that was the one that has the zucchini. And where the eggplant side, there's a lot of mixing where there's those like ancient onions that they just keep coming back every year. See that one? I don't know if you guys see that, but I forgot what really the name of those, but they just keep coming back every year. They grow some onions on the top, or some people I think call that garlic onions, and they fall down and they start growing again over that way. See, if you see on the tip of the onion leaves. And the rest over there are my eggplants, and on the very end is the yellow squash. There's few, probably a dozen of plants in there. So that's about it. I got pretty much a little of everything. But the priority of this gardening is for us to eat first. What we cannot eat, we sell it this year. And here comes some of my little garden. I have some mint. I think they call it Thailand mint. And different things that is getting old that needs to be put new things on there. But that's it. Thank you so much. Click my video, see likes, click likes, so some other people could see it. You know, just a little bit going on. You can really have a garden no matter how busy you are, because I'm a very busy person. A garden, oh, what I mean is I work at least 8 hours a day, but we have so much overtime right now. I even work another extra 4 hours a day. So besides that, you just have to make your imagination and make things, everything easy for you. It's just about management, your garden, your time management, you know, and make your garden easier to manage. You know, just do something. I did some bed gardening, pretty much not so much on the traditional, because it's a lot of work for me, for a person that work, you know, too many hours. But God bless you all. Like it or share it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.